Welcome back to the Midnight Who Show, and tonight I'm going to be reviewing the very first box set in the brand new War Doctor Rises series, Morbius the Mighty. Now, this was a 3-hour story written by Tim Foley. And there is a little look at the plot synopsis of the story that you can pause right here and read what the story is all about. Now, I just want to start off this review by saying that this is a phenomenal story. It is a really great listen. Tim Foley has crafted an amazing War Doctor story. But I will say there is a huge problem with this story if you have not listened to the Dark Gallifrey Morbius trilogy. This is very much a sequel to that one. So if you haven't listened to that, you might get lost at parts in this one. I don't think it, ruins this story, let's say. But if you haven't listened to that, you're definitely going to be like, when did all this event happen? It's very interesting to have this as a direct sequel to the Dark Gallifrey and be also the start of a brand new era for the War Doctor. I don't know if that's the smartest choice, because really this box set could have just been another Dark Gallifrey Morbius trilogy, and I think it would have been a phenomenal trilogy. But yeah, that's just a very small little problem with it. For me, I listened to that trilogy, so I kind of got all the little beats that were happening. And of course, what I said in that review, Samuel West is phenomenal as Morbius. They do a great job, and they do a really decent job at bringing to life another evil Time Lord that does have similar motives to other, evil, sinister Time Lords, but their performance is just elevated in here. And that actually, this box set fixes one of my biggest negatives that I had with that Morbius trilogy, that they weren't really front and center. They were always in the background. This story, they are leading front and center, and they are firing at all cylinders. And whoa, I could not believe some of the stuff that happened in this box set. I also will say the Time War is such a phenomenal setting for Morbius to interact with. And it was just great to have this, Daleks and Morbius. And I also will say Jonathan Carley is phenomenal as always as the War Doctor. They definitely bring this younger version to life really well. But in this box set, we definitely get to see a lot more of the kind of more War Doctor that we get used to seeing later in their life. It's slowly brewing. One of my favorite aspects of this story was that, and one of the most interesting aspects is that the Doctor was poisoned and they can no longer time travel because it would basically kill them. So they're now dragged out of the war for like 3 years. That's very interesting, and it gets to really see the War Doctor having to just lay low as the war is changing all around them. And it definitely is now into a new era with the war. Overall, the War Doctor Rises. Morbius the Mighty was a really well done story. Tim Foley has crafted such an imaginative story and definitely allows it to set apart from other Time War stories that we have gotten. And I really do like this new approach from Big Finish to have a one writer-led box set and just let their imagination run wild. I think that's really well done. Of course, the problem with this one is if you haven't listened to the Dark Gallifrey Morbius trilogy, you might get lost of what's happening, but it's just a really great story. I really just enjoyed hearing Morbius in the Time War and just the chaoticness that can start from that. And, interactions with other Time Lords and the Daleks. There's a lot in here, and it does unfortunately get a little rushed, I feel, toward the end, but it's still a great story. I could have seen this one lasting actually multiple box sets because it's such a great idea. I think Tim Foley could have really done something really big with this instead of just a 3-hour story, but who knows? Maybe there's more Morbius sequels written by Tim Foley in the near future. That would be awesome. And there's just a lot of great characters in this box. I didn't even mention Cora, the nurse who took care of the Doctor after their poisoning. They have a great companion-like relationship, and their banter and their dynamic is phenomenal. Tim Foley, phenomenal writer from Big Finish, and I cannot wait to hear their next story. So do you all listen to Morbius the Mighty? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye, everyone.